I would ask you, I'm not sure at this point whether more civilians were killed before 2022 in Donbass than have been killed in this latest.
So we can't talk about we can't talk about the invasion of Ukraine without considering the full war between Russia and Ukraine since 2014.
That's correct. Absolutely.
It's disgusting that they say this, because I was considering Lex Fridman to be a pretty smart person, and yet what he's doing in this interview is being absolutely also very bad as an interviewer, because he's never pushing back and he's just accepting all these lies. Either he's himself woefully unprepared for this interview, or he shares some really stupid ideas in his head as well. And he shares some ideas with this absolute moron of an Oliver Stone. Because right now, there have been definitely more deaths in, especially civilians, in Ukraine than in all those years. And especially if you consider, like I showed you before, that all the major civilian deaths were caused by most likely Russian forces or separatists in 2014 and 15. There were very, very few deaths of civilians in any other year. And any single death of civilian, of any really person besides dictators like Putin or Lukashenko or whatever, any death of a person is a tragedy. So even those like small number of deaths that were happening afterwards, it is still a tragedy. And it shouldn't be understated. And yet, what's been happening after the full invasion right now of Russia is true horrors. True horrors. And if Lex Fridman cannot acknowledge this and cannot push back and cannot show Oliver Stone that senile moron lost the plot completely, that is really dangerous and bad. Because Lex Fridman has a lot of people watching him and his podcasts and interviews. He's got a responsibility, and in this case, he's completely abandoned basically any common sense, reason, and just human decency. Because he's talking as if there's something to be justified about this invasion, about what Putin has done. There's none of the justifications to a dictator who wanted to basically reunite USSR, grab back the territories, who wanted to put himself in the fucking history books. There's no justifications for shit like that. And yet they are talking about it as if, whatever. I lost a lot of respect to Lex Fridman after this very, very fucking disgusting interview.